New York, on my right.
Yo. In the building with New York Noise. First episode here, of course, to promote underground up and coming rappers in New York City. These niggas about to take over the world. As we know, New York City is the best city in terms of whole fucking country. We up next. We've been up. We got a lot of overlooked talent here, and we got our first guest here.
Yo.
My son Jay Lib. What's poppin', bro?
What's poppin'?
Friend of the family. Of course, we got Bryce on the camera. We got my son Malcolm doing the sound. It's all family here.
Shout out Bryce Botter.
Shout out Bryce Botter. Shout out the Grail for the show. You feel me? Yeah, getting that shit out.
Yeah. Love brothers, same show, these different mothers. You dig? Yeah.
Alright, so I mean, since it's our first episode, we kind of want to give a little bit of an introduction to the structure of what we're trying to do here. But first, of course, we always want to get to know who we're talking to. Like, we get to know the person that we listening to. We want to get to know the person behind all the music. So my son Jay Lib, I don't know what you want to start with. Like, you want to talk about where you're from, kind of the build up. You know, what's been going on. How you started rapping. Like, what got you into the music. Like, a little bit of the history. Like, how involved you been. How long has it been. You know, all that type of good shit.
Yeah. I'm from Brooklyn. You dig? Yeah, I'm from Crown Heights, and basically my parents, they always play music around the house, like different shit. And then I got a lot of people like in my family that's like into arts and shit. Like 2 of my uncles is actors.
Yeah.
So like, and like I started playing the guitar. Like the first time I ever touched the guitar was probably like at one of my uncles like rehearsals and shit. Like he lived in Dallas. I think I went out to Dallas with him one summer. I was like 5-6 years old. And like he was a blues musician in this play that he was directing, Blonde Lemon. So like he was starring in it. He did a play called Blonde Lemon Blues, and like he was playing the guitar in the play. So I like picked it up one day and I was just playing and shit. And then like I didn't really know what I was doing at all because I was a little ass kid.
Just fucking around.
So like I was just messing around. He saw that I liked it, and then he bought me one, like a little toy one, like from like the toy store, like at the airport.
Yeah, trying to get your shit started.
So like when I went back, like I flew home with like a little guitar, and I used to play that shit when I came home. When I came home, I played that shit a lot. That was like when I was real young, but like I didn't know what I was doing. Like I was just messing around on it.
Just started, yeah, and like I know so. I just from listening to like your music and like everything on your cloud already, you can tell that like there are elements of that. Like you experiment with a lot of like harmonies, a lot of different types of beats and shit. So I can tell there's like a jazz background, a guitar background, and, like trying to be mad musical. I feel that. I can see that a lot. Just as you said, like how did you get specifically into rap? Like was it you possibly play some music you like listen to with your niggas, or it was like how was that?
Well, like I said, like my parents played music and shit around. Like, and I'm like black, bro. So like we listen to rap. Like everybody listen to rap. You dig? Like it's part of the culture. So like I grew up listening to like a lot of like Kanye, Lupe Fiasco, Pharrell. Like my dad used to play that shit.
That's a good foundation.
And like Jay-Z and shit like that. Like Wu-Tang, all that. So like I grew up on all of that. I used to listen to 50 Cent heavy. Like as a little ass kid, like niggas used to rock the little G-Unit, fucking hoodies and shit.
Yeah.
Like as a little ass kid, like 6 years old. But yeah. So like, I always grew up listening to music, and then I like, every kid just be like fucking around.
Trying to freestyle with the homies.
I used to write a little bit of shit. Like I'll write like a little 4 or 5 lines, like as a little ass kid, not thinking nothing of it. Like just doing it cause I'm like a kid. Kids like experience stuff. You did me. So it's like so then I did that, and then like. At lunch, like kids would do that, be banging on the tables, and kids would fuck around with shit. So that was like how I first started rapping, but I wasn't taking it seriously at the time. Like I didn't really care.
And like, so like inspiring like the first song, like Ruthless, right on your cloud, like that from like what 2 years ago.
Yeah, like 3, like 2.
Yeah, 2-3 years ago, something like that. How did that come together? Was it just like the first time you sat down and you're like, yo, I'm type nice at this, or like niggas kind of feeling me when we freestyling? Like what inspired just like that recording process? How'd that go?
All right, so like late in middle school when I was like 13, 14, I was listening to like fucking like Joey and shit. Like when I was in middle school, I was listening to Joey, like Tyler.
Happy in Brooklyn too.
And like Joey,
all the real lyricists.
I could dead relate to Joey because like me and Joey, like he's from Brooklyn, so we walk the same streets, we know the same people and shit like that. So like a lot of the shit he was talking about, I could dead relate to because like we just in the same environment. Yeah, we all like see all the same shit. So so that's what like after that, like I was like, yo, like I understand this shit, like I could do this shit too. You feel me? So like, so I was just doing that, and I was just like, thought it would be a cool idea of how to express myself because I'm a like cool laid back person. I don't really talk a lot. You feel me? So like that was just something to do, like put my thoughts on the page and just do it.
And that shit was like, knowing that you said like talking about Wu-Tang, talking about like foundations like Jay-Z, like you can feel that with the flow and that. Like
Method Man is my favorite rapper. Method Man and Biggie, like ever. I fuck with Method Man and Biggie, OD. Like those is the goats in my eyes.
Of course. And like, where'd you find the beef for that? Was it just some shit?
My bro SI from Yulu. Shout out to Yulu. Shout out also Novus and all of them he did. Yeah, but my bro SI from Staten Island, he make beats and shit like that. So like when I first started out, SI was just making beats, and then niggas knew me from like little sites and shit that I used to do. Like a lot of my friends and shit like made music, and I was just like spit verses in a scythe. Like I didn't have any music recorded or anything like that. You feel me? So niggas just showed me like I could rap from that, and then I was like, yo, I'm gonna start recording, and then he sent me a beat. And it was fire. I found it. I was like, nah, this shit is cool. Like, he sent me that beat. And then it was wavy. So then I just decided to record. And I had tried to record before, but, like, I wasn't really fucking with it. Like, how shit came out. Like, I did it, like, a good, like, 3-4 times before I actually, like, did something that I fucked with heavy. And then I felt like releasing.
Yeah, well, I feel like...
But I was, like, 15. So, like, it was, like, whatever. Like, I was just with the homies.
Yeah, of course.
And, like... We took it. That was like the first thing that we, like, that was when I figured out like what I wanted to do.
Yeah, of course. Good start.
Like I played basketball and shit. I played baseball and shit like that. Like I had other things that I was interested in that I like fucked with heavy, but like rapping was like the first thing that I knew that I wasn't like gonna stop doing. You know?
And like, well, of course, after that, I mean, like, I imagine the first one was like once you got that first one out, it's like you start moving. Like niggas just start making music, like being in the stew. And then you start going into like progression. I think this is when we talk about like your association with Next Gen, like how you met them niggas, and like especially because I think on the cloud right now, I think like your most played song is Us vs Them with Fresh, some shit like that. That should hit like 12, 13K, some shit like that. That shit was popping. So just like how did that progression happen? You know, you had like songs like Run Up the Stash and like all that shit, and then like it progressed into like working with people like Fresh and working with like Next Gen and kind of getting into a more serious attitude about music.
I was just around them, like, they was making music too. First, I was with Jay Lonzo. Jay Lonzo is like my brother.
Yeah. Shout out Jay Lonzo.
I met Jay Lonzo when I was mad young, like 6 years old. I met Jay Lonzo when I was like 6 years old. We used to go to like day camp and shit together. Like, and in New York, I don't know if they do this everywhere, but they be having like little day camps for kids in the summertime. Yeah. Like, and you know, you see the group of kids like on the train and shit.
Yeah, all coming once.
All wearing the same t-shirts and shit. Like, shit like that. So like me and Jalen went to the same camp, and then that was when we first met each other. And then like we played baseball against each other and shit like that growing up, but I wasn't really super close with him. Like I wasn't tight with him. But then when we got to middle school, it's like I've been seeing this nigga everywhere for years. So I was like, oh yeah, I know him. Like, and we just started chilling more and shit like that. And that was when I met my bro Justo, Free Justo.
Oh, this is a video? Yeah, so basically, what I'm doing in this video, I'm doubling, whole body. 30s for her, 30s for her. 30s for me, 30s all around.
And when I met, it was me, Justo, and like a couple of other kids, and Jalen. And we always used to just chill. And then me and Jalen started making music, probably like around like late 7th grade, late 8th grade. Yeah. We was actually supposed to be a group together, me and Jay Lonzo. And then like one day, like Fresh. So we used to see Fresh on like Instagram and shit like that. Like nobody knew him.
Yeah,
like he followed us and like we saw him. Like you know how you follow different people from different states and shit like randomly. That. So then like he was just like we saw that he used to make music and shit. Like, and at first when I saw this nigga, like he sent me his music and I was just like, all right, like I didn't really know who he was. So I was like, that's cool. Like I don't really know. So then, but like my friend Jalen, he listened to that shit heavy, and he was like, "Yo, this shit's fire." So then I listened to it, and then like I met him one day because Jalen was chilling with him, and then Jalen was like, "Yo, I'm about to go like Fresh or whatever. I'm fuck with this nigga." So then I met him, and like ever since then, like we just been cool. So, and then through him I met Ty. That's my big brother. I love Ty.
Shout out Ty.
Ty Bass. That's my son. I fuck with that nigga heavy. That's the big bro. But yeah. That's how me, Ty, Fresh met all of them.
That shit crazy, bro. Like,
yeah, we was like 15, so
yeah.
like
looking back now and see where all y'all at now, all with like projects on the way, all with putting out music.
It was a long period of time when we was like together every single day on some shit. So
just like in the studio chilling, just being like,
not even just in the studio. Like we dad used to record like in Fresh's room, bro. Like Fresh had a little mic and we were recording in his room. We wasn't even going to the studio.
Just on some chill shit.
Yeah, like. We all made music, and then like Fresh just like bought a mic one day. Like his parents bought him a mic.
Yeah.
And then like we all just would go over to Fresh crib and record sometimes.
Heard you. And like, I mean, y'all have had some. I think some of your biggest songs, both your biggest songs are like together. So like, there's clearly like some type of chemistry. There's some type of y'all sounds good together. Like especially on like Headshot. Like I mean, that's one of my personal favorite. I think I be bumping that shit. I be bumping that shit. The Freeze. I be bumping that shit at the parties with the shawties. All that.
Oh, friend. Shout out to the big shawties bumping.
All of them. So like, for someone, I feel like in terms of your musical process, like, where's your head at in that? Do you start? Are you always writing? Are you a big writer? Are you kind of just whatever comes to mind, like start spitting? Are you a freestyle? Because I know like for a lot of young artists, like I mean a lot of kids our age especially, they have a lot of they don't have like strict writing patterns. Like it's kind of sporadic. They do a variety of things. So I just I wondered how, especially with it, your music is like heavily lyrical. There's a lot of stuff like that. So like, what's the process behind it all?
There was a time when I used to write every single thing. Sometimes I like write a whole song, and then sometimes I'll write like ideas, and then kind of like freestyle based off of those ideas. Or what I used to do, like with me and the homies, we do sometimes, like we would like freestyle and then like record the freestyle, and then like whatever file lines we came up with, we would write that shit down, and then like put it in a verse or some shit like that.
That's fire.
So like I do whatever comes natural. Like I don't really have like a forced pattern. Sometimes I just like a lot lately I'll just be writing like as soon as I get to the stew. Like I'll write in the stew and then have like a producer like make the shit in front of me, and then like as he's making the beat, like I'll get the vibe for it, and then I'll just write the verse.
That's fire. Yeah, that's a good process so far. I think that's some shit like it'll last for a long time. And well, I got a question though, because especially I feel like I've had this debate, especially like off camera with the homies and all this, but it's like rappers that don't have rappers that are kind of on the way up, kind of building up their fan base and wanting to expand more and more, who oftentimes kind of be a little bit a little bit like scared. I don't know if I say scared, but not to drop a lot of music at once. You know what I'm saying? Like always waiting for the right moment to drop songs. When like I mean, if you look at real rap now, we get music like every month, or like every 3 months, like mad music be dropping. Like niggas drop like 4 or 5 mixtapes a year. So like, what's the? I don't know. You only got 8 songs over the last few years, right, on the cloud, and they're getting big time plays. But like, what's your process or strategy in terms of releasing them? Is that a intentional thing?
So I don't really have like a set amount of songs that I would drop. Like, well, when I first started, I wasn't on some shit where I was like, oh, I'm gonna drop like 3 songs a week, or like this many songs in this amount of time. Like, I would just like record shit, and then whenever I felt like it was ready, then I would drop it.
Drop it right then.
But lately, like as I get older and as I like start to realize like how just the strategic side of music. Because, like, I'm doing it, like, I genuinely started, like, it started with a genuine interest. Like, I'm not doing it for clout, or, like, I'm not trying to do it to, like, get other people's attention, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, I started it because I fucked with that shit, like, I liked it, and, like, it was just something that I enjoyed. But, of course, I want to, like, reach people, you know? I want people to hear what I have to say, and I want people to be able to relate to it. That's how I really came up with my name, though, because it was, like, on some shit.
Yeah, what's the story behind J-Lib?
So like at first, I always said that like I feel like art is dead like an expression of life. You feel me?
Of course, yeah.
So like I've always said that, and like different artists, like you dead just like talking about what you live in or what you seeing or what's around you, and like the world is the catalyst for this way of this form of expression. You feel me? Art.
Yeah.
So I feel like when you do that, like people can relate to you because there's people who have similar experiences to you, and I feel like every artist, like whether it's a painter or choreographer, or cinematographer, whatever the fuck it is, like everybody's like an artist, and everybody's like, I feel like every artist is a liberator. You dig? So it's like, cause like when that's a cool feeling to be able to understand something and to be able to connect with somebody else. Cause sometimes like a lot of people be scared to talk about shit, and like that's what I try to do in my music. Like I try to talk about like literally everything.
And no, I definitely feel you in terms of that. There's this old quote, or it's part of a song, and it was part of this like something in the '70s, and it was this like white politician, and this nigga said like, preachers don't understand how like who we are. He's like, politicians don't understand who we are, scientists don't understand who we are, only the poets. He's like, only the poets. And what he meant, he's like,
who said that?
This like old. I gotta find the sample. I'm about to drop. I'll drop the link in put a little sidebar for this, but it's like there's this. It was using a sample by this nigga named Marky Basie. I don't know if you probably using a sample for his first song called "Only the Post." But yeah, this guy he's talked about. He's like politicians, scientists, academics, intellectuals. You know, like criminals. None of these people understand who we are. And it's like only the poets. And he says after that, only, and by poets I mean all artists. And so like I feel you on that type of way. Like you liberate people from a feeling.
I mean, yeah. I kind of agree with that, and I kind of disagree. Like, I just feel like, everyday people should be able to, like, because even if you don't make music, like, even if you're not, like, necessarily a poet, or, like, even if you're not really into, like, creating on your own, and that's not your form of expression or whatever, like, I'm talking about life.
Of course.
So, like, it's people who experience, like, it's people who live in my neighborhood that don't make music, but I'll say something reference in the neighborhood, and they'll be like, yeah, I can relate to that.
You really come together on common ground. So,
that's really what it's all about to me. That's why I try to be as authentic as possible and talk about everyday experiences and shit like that.
I relate to the common person, provide something for them, because a lot of the music out, don't relate, like talking about flexing and swag rap, like all kind of shit like that.
I mean, that shit is cool, but it's like, it's all about balance, though.
True.
Because, like, there's a point in time where you don't feel it, and that's just like something that you have to acknowledge. Like, and I feel like, and that's cool if you want to do that. If you want to just like, if you feel like that's all you want to do is just talk about like turning up and shit like that, that's cool. Like, there's a time and place for that, and like there's a platform for that.
Yeah.
There's people who want that all the time, and that's cool. Like, I fucking love like fucking Lil Pump, even though he may not talk about shit that's like. You might be like,
it's got some fucking thumbs down.
No. But like, Lil Pump, like he not gonna sit here and talk about how he had a bad day.
True.
He not gonna talk about like how he got into like some type of argument or some shit like that, or some shit got him tight.
That's not his way. Also, niggas like our age
and that's cool though.
Someone's balling.
And like different artists do different things, but like I try to do like everything. I feel like I have songs for like every situation, every scenario in life, and like there's a time and place to where you can listen to each of these songs, and then you're like
in that moment,
in the moment.
So like, I know that was like the basis of the beef on Everyday Struggle Complex the other day with Joe Budden and Yachty.
Fuck that nigga Joe Budden.
Nah, I fuck with Joe Budden, bro. I tell you fuck with Joe Budden, bro. Joe Budden's not chatted all the time, bro.
Bro, but that's the type of niggas that I can't stand, bro. Like, it's like niggas be like trying to create blueprints for like. All right, first they put a label on you, and then like they have expectations when they hear that label, and they want you to live up to that label. So if you're gonna be under the title of rapper, you have to sound a certain way to them. You have to do a certain thing.
This is true.
Like, so I feel like, and then especially the way Joe Budden, like the niggas that he be hating on be like fucking 18, 19 years old. And it's like,
he's out of touch, bro. He's a little bit out of touch.
Regardless, all right. I understand if you don't like the music personally, but like regardless of whether you like it personally, you can at least be happy that the nigga is fucking 18 and he's doing something for his family. Like he got his fam out the hood, he making millions of dollars.
There was
and then is doing something that he actually fucks with. Like he has the opportunity, because let's be honest, a lot of people is doing shit that they don't want to do.
Most people,
because they gotta get by.
Yeah,
and that shit is ass.
Stupid trash.
So at least he got to like make a living off of something that he really truly fucked with, and like he got his family out the hood. Yeah. He's able to buy whatever he wants. He's able to go wherever he wants, experiences the things that he wants to experience. Like he's comfortable. You feel me? So
true.
I respect that, especially at such a young age, bro. Like shout out to Yachty. Like shout out to like niggas Yachty, fucking X and them niggas or whoever, like 16-year whoever, bro. Like
shout out 16-year-old
young ass niggas who's like doing what they doing, like to get to the guap, but then not just doing it for the guap, but like they're doing what they genuinely enjoy.
Yeah,
so
I feel that. That's true. I feel like Joe Budden. I think he comes across a certain way, but I feel like he might be misinterpreted because like I do understand like the baseline what he's saying. He doesn't have respect for the young niggas. He doesn't understand like the people back then was wild as well, and like they was on the similar type of waves. And I think like the basis of that beef when he's talking about it's kind of what we just spoke about the idea of being happy all the time. He's like you rap about just having a good time all the time. Mm-hmm. Like that's just not reflective of life. Like that's not.
But then he's the complete opposite of that though. You feel me? Like
how so? In what way?
I mean, like the way like he's put like his whole aura, his whole vibe is just niggas true. Like. Like relax, like when y'all even say that, like nigga, chill.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Sounds too intense, bro.
I feel like you shouldn't be held to like some. I hold myself to an expectation. You feel me? I feel like all expectations that you have for like whatever it is that you're doing should be like through yourself. Not having somebody else be like, oh, you're a rapper. Yeah. So if you want to be a rapper, you got to be lyrical. You got to rap like this. You got to do this. You got to do that.
Should be looking for like validation.
Fuck that shit, bro. Do what the fuck you want to do. If that shit makes you happy, that shit putting money in your pocket. Like, fuck it. Like, come on. Like, do it.
And like, speaking in terms of just the game app right now, like, where's your focus at in terms of making music right now? Like what are you looking for certain things or? Like, are you feeling that like, kind of just waiting for shit to come? And like, is there a specific direction you feel like you're headed?
So I'm at the point where I realize this is actually what I want to do.
Fact, that's a good.
And then like I've been at that point for a while though, but like that's just something that I have to acknowledge. And then in order to do that, like I'm aware of how I have to acknowledge the business aspect of it.
Yeah,
because I want this to be a career. Like, although even if it does, like, I'm not saying that's what I'm doing it for. Like, I'm not trying to do it for money. You did,
yeah.
But it's like, I'm being realistic. You feel me? And then also, like, I don't want to be like working a fucking 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And then
you don't want to do something you hate. And
then it's like, oh. Then as you do shit that you hate, the shit that you love, like it just cuts into that time, and then the less you do it, it's just like eventually it's gonna be out your life, bro. So like, there's people who dead ass go to work, come home, go to sleep, eat, like on some shit like that. So.
And do you feel? Have you felt any like already just kind of trying to break into the industry? Have you felt the negative aspects of it? Because I mean, I don't think anyone comes into the music industry unless you maybe be like Drake or Kendrick and be like, I like this, like this works in my favor, because it's hard as fuck.
I feel but I feel like it's just like if you want to do it, like with everything comes work. Like you got to work for everything. There's ups and downs to everything, bro.
Yeah.
So if you want it bad enough, then you just be able to like take on the hard shit that like comes along with it, the sweet and the sour. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
So
are you looking like ideally to get signed, make it big, like in terms of that, or like would you want to like work on building up your own fan base and getting into that?
All right, so basically like if it happens, it happens. Like I'm not aiming to get signed. Like I'm not like out here like, oh, Def Jam, please sign me. Or like I'm not looking for a label to sign me. But like if they offer a deal to me that sounds good, that I feel like I can still be me and I can still do what I do.
Have your artistic life.
Yeah, because I feel like freedom. A lot of niggas be selling they soul.
Oh,
but like I don't mean to say it in like the corny ass like, oh, he's selling his soul ass Illuminati type shit. Selling your soul could be just something like little as fuck. And I was talking to that shit like with my bro the other day. Shout out to Shaw Fred, but I was in the style with my bro Shaw Fred when we was talking about that shit, and he was just talking about like selling your soul could be like something as little as it's just as simple as you doing something that you wouldn't naturally do for another motive, like for an unnatural type motive. You feel me? Like you're doing something that you wouldn't normally do for a reaction or for some to gain something. Yeah. And that shit is corny, bro. Like I feel like you should just be you and do what naturally happens and what comes natural, and then if you gain something from it, then that's cool. But you shouldn't be doing something to gain something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because like, what if it doesn't work out that way? Like, if I was just rapping just for money, bro, like I'm not making a whole bunch of money off of rapping right now, and I've been rapping for like 3 years, bro. So if I was just doing it to make millions of dollars, I would have been quit like the fucking first 2 months.
Yeah,
bro.
now you do it because you have a desire, you love it.
And that's what a lot of niggas don't realize. Like, from the outside looking in, it's like, yo, every rapper's bowling, every rapper got big racks, everybody got, like, shit like that. But then, like, niggas don't understand, like, with that rap shit, like, it doesn't come like that overnight. Some people it does, some people it doesn't. But it's not guaranteed. And it's a lot of people to where you gotta go through a lot of shit. You gotta wait a little while before, like, this shit is actually put in. Rap money is in your pocket, and those checks are what you live off of.
Yeah.
And then, like, even then, it's not even as much as you think it is, bro. Because, like, a lot of niggas nowadays are involved in a whole bunch of different shit, bro. Like, niggas is acting, niggas is doing fashion, niggas is fucking having, like, clothing brands. Like, every rapper has a clothing brand. Every rapper has, like...
Everyone sells merch.
Everybody sells merch. Everybody's fucking doing fucking... You know, like...
It's be a lot of shitty merch, too. A lot of bad.
Not even...
It'd be a lot of real shitty merch.
Nah, some niggas got good merch, though. Some niggas got good merch, though. Some niggas got bad merch. But... OD. Niggas said it'd be a lot of shitty merch. The fuck is that shit? Nah. But, nah, some niggas got good merch, though.
That's true. Shout them out.
Who got good merch? Travis got good merch.
ASAP be having good merch.
Travis got good merch. ASAP merch is calm. Who got good merch, bro? Oh, you know who be having good merch? Flatbush Zombies be having.
Oh, that's fact. They be
having good merch. I haven't copped anything from any of those brands that I just named. I apologize, but it's just like I appreciate it. That is fire.
Yeah, you fuck with the new Flatbush, new album. You listen to
Vacation to Hell. I grew up on Flatbush, bro. I grew up on Flatbush Zombies. Them niggas is cold as shit. And I used to live in Flatbush too. Yeah. So like that's another one of those artists that like I know like I could relate. Like Bobby I could relate to Bobby, Free Bobby. I could relate to Joey. I could relate to Flatbush Zombies. I could relate to fucking Jay-Z and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, because they're talking about the environment that I grew up in. Like, I see this shit every day. When Jay-Z talks about Marcy, I walk past Marcy all the fucking time. Like, I'm in the style all the time. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like...
So you can relate. Of course, that's why you get drawn to it. And, like... So I got a few more questions, just, like, some chill shit. But especially now... with most recent songs, but like, do you feel like your music has changed over time in the sense that like, because just from listening to like your whole discography and all that, you can tell like you've changed with like cadences certain times kind of come in. Some songs come in crazy, some in like looking to kill. So other songs coming in with more like a laid back like boom bap type shit, and then especially with songs like Razor. Mm-hmm. Or like Blow Down, like when you like low, especially Razor, and like especially Run Up the Stash, another one that comes to mind. Like songs you start like experimenting a little bit more with like melody, a little more with like hooks, like singing kind of hooks, and like experiment with song structure. So it's like, how do you feel? Do you feel like you're changing or evolving, or like what's been the difference? Have you just been like given access to new ways, kind of just worked on your craft?
So basically with music and shit, like my music changes because I'm changing as a person.
Yeah.
Like I've been doing this shit since I was like 14 years old. So like the type of music is gonna change because I'm changing as a person. Like I'm experiencing different shit. Like I said, I talk about experiences. I talk about life. You feel me? And as I do new things, I will make new music, and my sound will like kind of like alter because I'm altering as a person. I'm only 18 years old. Like I change every day. I learn new things every day. So it's like it's life.
True.
So that's why I feel like my music changes a lot. But then also like I feel like even though it changes, like I feel like I always put like a decent amount of lyricism in every single song. Like I still be rapping.
Yeah, of
like
course.
Even though it's over like a different type of beat though. Like
never gonna like compromise that.
I don't necessarily compromise my sound. Like it's still me. I'm not trying to be something that I'm not.
Yeah.
Or I'm not trying to sound a certain way. I just make the music that I like. And I listen to all types of music too. So that's why the music that I make will be different as well.
Different.
Because like I'm making music that I would genuinely like, that I fuck with, that I want to hear.
Yeah, and I feel
like
different sound.
That I feel is ideal. You feel me? So
I fuck with that. Especially like stuff like Bulletproof Shine too, like stuff with Next Gen like that. I feel like there's a lot of nuance and a lot of versatility that you've shown in like all types of shit. Like you've been singing on all types of beats and still, as you said, maintaining your true sound and all that.
Facts. Yeah.
Should be a good reflection. And all right, before we get out of here though, top 5 all time. And then top 5. Actually, now we got 3 top 5 lists though. We got 3 top 5. We got top 5 all time. We got top 5 now, and then top 5 like up and coming niggas, like niggas you know who are about to take over.
Top 5 up and coming. All right, copy.
Not to put you on the spot.
I'm gonna start off with top 5 up and coming. So top 5 up and coming. Myself, of course. I fuck with myself.
Yeah.
I fuck with my nigga Choppy Chan. All right, let me tell you something about Choppy. Shout out. 60. You feel me? 360 that. 360 that. You did?
Shout out Lonnie.
But yo, with Choppy though, like when I listen to Choppy's music, bro, like I remember when I first listened to Choppy. Like Choppy makes good ass music.
Yeah, dead ass.
And I was saying
friend
that
of the show,
shit,
bro. We try to get
I was saying that shit the other day to Bryce. Like we just chilling and shit, and I was like, yo, Choppy makes good ass music. Like you don't have to be a fan of rap to like listen to Choppy and appreciate certain things that he puts in it. Like the melodies and shit, and then like...
He's an artist.
Exactly,
he's a fucking full artist.
So it's like, Choppy makes good... And Choppy, like, when I listen to Choppy, bro, I'll be like, that makes me like focus on shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, actually making like quality, like music as a whole. Like, I feel like a lot of niggas, like they could just rap. Or a lot of niggas just have fire beats. Or they have one thing.
They're one part of the package.
Facts.
Yeah, they got the whole shit.
Exactly. So shit like that. I fuck with shit. I fuck with my bro Jay Lonzo, of course. I fuck with my bro Ty Bass. Oh, It Takes a Village.
Takes a Village, yeah. Shout out.
Yeah, go check that out.
Yeah, check that shit out.
Check that shit out. My son just dropped a new album.
All platforms, bro. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal.
Yeah, I fuck with my son Jay Lonzo. Like I said, I grew up with that.
Nice.
So I fuck with who else? That nigga Young Lunchbox from Harlem. I fuck with all the DBA niggas actually. Them niggas is cool. I fuck with their music. That shit's calm. How many is that? That's like 4.
Yeah.
4. Who else, bro? Shit. Who else?
So Montana.
It's a lot of niggas. But like, I see when you limit it to 5, it's like,
it's an unfair question.
It's like, of course, it's not as ordered, and if I don't name you, then it would.
Yeah.
But it's like, that don't mean shit. But
I think you said Todd.
Yeah, my son Todd. Shout out Todd.
Shout out another fucking artist right there.
Shout out to Next Gen. That shit's cool. My son Dad created that shit. Like that's Dad his creation. But who
He's on the
else?
rise.
I'll fuck with the others.
Yeah,
Shout out to the others.
shout out the others.
Shout out my nigga Bones. Shout out my nigga Shafra. Shout out Mally out in Cali. That's the big bro. I ain't seen that nigga in a
Trying to get them on the show to point too.
But yeah, that's my top 5. I feel like coming up. But of course, there's niggas that like I didn't name. But, like,
no worries.
Like
everybody understands. That's all.
If you, all right, look, I'm gonna put it like this: if I fuck with you, you know I fuck with you, and if you fuck with me, I'll fuck with you. You think like it is what it is. Oh,
supporting everybody.
Shout out to my to my NAO niggas. Shout out fucking Jesus and fucking Quelly and them niggas. I fuck with them niggas too. They already know what's up.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then I would say, what was the other one?
Top 5 right now. Top 5 right now. We can go, yeah. In that order.
All right, so top 5 right now. Kendrick, of course. I fuck with Lucky heavy.
Shout out Lucky.
Chief Keef
is a
living legend. Of course. Chief Keef been a legend for a minute.
Chief Keef, the source of all.
Chief Keef is he's a living legend. He's one of the all-time greats. Niggas be hating on Chief Keef, like, especially the old heads when niggas say shit like that. Like, old heads don't understand, bro, that like the younger generation has their ghosts. Like, Chief Keef started a lot of shit that a lot of niggas is doing right now.
Bro, he's the father. All these new wave rappers, they're his sons, bro. There's products. They're products of it.
Niggas said they're his sons.
Bro,
but like,
fucking
real
has
shit
disciples.
Though. Nah, but like, Chief Keef, niggas like Chief Keef, Gucci Mane, shit, who else? Cudi.
Shout out Cudi.
Like, those are all-time greats, though. Like, and older heads, they don't understand that, but like, to us, like, they started a new sound.
Yeah, that's what we grew up on.
That's what we grew up on. Like, there's a lot of shit that Cudi might have done that I never heard from anybody else. There's a lot of shit that Pharrell might have done that I never heard from anybody else. So automatically, just because he came to the table with something new that I never heard before,
it's already just like,
you feel me? And then niggas follow that shit, and then I see their styles and their patterns and shit that they started in other niggas, bro.
Yeah,
so I can't help and not think about that shit. You feel me?
Of course, and I think just all these old heads undermine them like that, because for us, like they transform music, as you said, and put some more fucking respect on their name.
Sorry.
Put some fucking respect. You gotta fucking respect.
Nigga said, put some respect on my name. Shout out Birdman, though. I'm weak. Shout out Cash Money Records. No, but fucking
top 5 greats.
I ain't even finished the fucking.
Oh shit, you got.
Wait, hold up. How many I got? I said Lucky. I said Kendrick.
I said Chief Keef.
Chief Keef. That's 3. Rap niggas, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Cudi. I said Cudi. So that's 4. Who else?
You say Pharrell.
I did say Pharrell, but I also I kind of want to put Kanye in there too. I think I might replace Kanye with Pharrell.
It's a good choice.
But
that for me.
I fuck with Pharrell, but like the thing is about Kanye, bro. All right, I'm gonna tell you something about Kanye. Kanye, every single project that he puts out sounds different from the last one.
Completely different.
At the same time, it's still Kanye. Like, you still know it's him. You feel me?
Certain marks.
So certain shit, like Kanye will completely change his sound, but then it's not. He doesn't sound like anybody else. It's not like he sounds like somebody else. Even though like it's niggas that he work with that like you see kind of little patterns of their shit just because they helped create it.
Like Cudi.
Like you can hear a little bit of Cudi in Kanye because Cudi helped shape what Kanye shit is. Or you can hear a little bit of Pusha T. Like
a little bit of Jay back in the time.
Yeah, so it's like you peep that shit, but like at the same time, like Kanye is Kanye. So
of course.
And then all time, oh damn. So all time, I'm gonna say, like I said, Biggie, Method Man. I like fucking Big L. Big L is dope as shit.
Shout out Big L.
But I don't know, a lot of niggas, this is rap. Like, a lot of niggas don't even be peeping this shit or qualify as rap. But, like, this is, like, origins of rap. Like, I listen to Gail Scott Heron a lot.
That's OG.
So yeah, that nigga is fire.
That's
So
like the birth. That's the origins, bro. I don't even know where you can find that music. Niggas on that CDs or like
nigga,
fucking records. Like that shit is bro. That's dumb old.
No, but that and fucking who else? I said Jay-Z, right? I'm gonna say Jay-Z. Yeah, I'm gonna throw Jay-Z in there.
Yeah, so we got Ye, Method Man. No, but yeah, my fault. We got Method Man. We got Big L.
We got Biggie. Jay.
One
more. I said Gil.
Oh shit! Yeah, we got 5.
Over it.
That's a good talk. That's a good list though. That's an interesting list. Most niggas like. I don't take it as you as a Drake fan off principle.
Nah. I appreciate how Drake like maneuvers.
Yo, that's exactly what the fuck I'm telling you, bro.
Like
exactly
you know how I said like the business aspect.
Yeah.
Like in terms of that, bro.
He's the king.
Like he can't go wrong.
That's why I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. I was telling this thing the other day, bro.
But then at the same time, like he do be doing a lot of like weird shit sometimes. Like at times he could be a bit of a culture vulture. I'm not gonna hold you.
He be stealing a lot.
I mean, I feel like the way that he does things, like I feel like a lot of times he feel like, all right, so look, like what he did with like Fetty Wap. When that Fetty Wap dropped that song, I forgot what it was called. No disrespect to Fetty Wap.
My Way, right?
My Way, yeah. And then when Drake remixed that shit, I feel like the way that it turned out, people was more looking at it as like, oh, Drake's new song is lit as fuck.
Yeah, he
does that a lot.
He steals the song. Like right now, like Look Alive with Block Boy.
No. Block Boy went crazy on that.
Block Boy, but people know it as like 700. Look Alive.
But like, yeah, Block Boy went crazy on that. I fuck with Block Boy. Shout out Block Boy JB. That nigga's lit. I should have put him in that shit too. Up and coming right now. Yeah. But that shit is hard though, cause I listen to mad music, bro. So like, I'm a fan of music just as like I'm a creator of music. You feel me?
All types.
So like, I be listening to music, bro. Like as a fan, like genuinely enjoying that shit. So
are there niggas you just don't fuck with, like people just
niggas that I don't fuck with,
trash niggas out here? Cause there's a lot of music, bro. There's a lot of music out, and
that's a funny ass question. But like,
that's a dangerous question, bro.
Not even that. It's not even that as dangerous.
Not even just like
it's not even that as dangerous.
Like,
and it's not that niggas is not like trying to avoid talking down on niggas. But like, I honestly just don't think about it. Like, if your shit is trash, like I just don't.
Yeah, it's not even name names. Just like a specific maybe
like,
type.
I'm not gonna sit there and talk about all day like who's trash.
Of course.
Like this nigga's whack, and just fucking rant all day about how I don't like niggas. Like, if I don't like you, then I don't like you.
Sound like Joe Budden.
One thing that I don't like though, what I don't like is when music is like pushed on you. Like certain niggas are, so that's another thing, but that's something about Drake that like is weird to me. Like, you cannot escape Drake. You think about it now in 2018, you can't escape.
It's the industry support, bro.
Look. Like, think about every day. Like, think about it every day. Subconsciously, you around Drake all the time. You hear somebody singing a Drake song, or like you on social media and like some shorty like lip sync into a Drake song or some shit like that, or Drake is playing in the car that drives by, or Drake is on the radio, or you see a commercial with Drake in it.
Inescapable, bro.
So it's like,
but I feel like because he has like the institutional support. Like,
I just feel like I need my opportunity to like really like consume your music and consume it because like this is what
authentically and not with like people.
I don't want it to be like, oh, like this is what everybody else is listening to and it's like shoved. Like it's forced on me. You feel me? I don't want that shit. You feel me? So like I'll sometimes kind of wait until like shit dies down, or like I might just like not fuck with some shit because like I feel like that influence is heavy on how people consume music. Yeah. But not to say that you shouldn't want to obtain that. Like that's cool. Like I'm happy for Drake that he reached that level.
It's
like
a certain type of success, yeah.
Like if you could reach that level of success, fuck it. Why not? Why not be the fucking GOAT? And why not have everybody listening to your shit? Like
be like the most popular person.
That's cool. But yeah, like that shit. I feel like that shit sometimes just influences like people's like, intake.
Nah, definitely. I feel like there's like a separation of people. There's like I don't know, 21 recently like tweeted like he's like, I ain't trying to be the GOAT. I'm trying to be the fucking richest. Like, I'm just trying to make bands. That's it.
Oh, for and there's niggas like that too. Like if niggas is just in it for the money, then if that's what you're doing it for, then that's cool, bro. Like get as much money as you can off.
Yeah.
But like I said, don't do that. Me personally, I would never do something just for the money.
Yeah.
Or do something that I wouldn't normally do for a reward.
It's like, yeah, of course, there's always some genuine feelings behind it.
Facts.
And in general, just like looking forward, like, is there anything immediate you're trying to do? Like, is there what are the next steps? Like, you trying to?
This summer, I'm gonna be putting out more shit. I don't want to necessarily go into crazy detail about my whole plan and things.
All right, keeping this in the dark.
But
surprise
like,
drop.
Nah, but niggas is definitely working now. Like I definitely want to drop like a lot of music this summer, and a couple of videos and visuals and shit like that. But,
any shows coming up? Any like?
Yeah, I just be doing shows like whenever I can, bro. Like whenever there's a show, when niggas give me an opportunity to perform somewhere, I definitely am taking up that opportunity. So like, I performed at a lot of different places, and it's just like there's a lot more places that I would like to perform. You feel me? So like, wherever I can, I'm gonna just take that opportunity to perform. And sometimes I'll be doing like my own shit too, like the New Year's Eve shit.
Yeah.
Like my cousin, who was my manager at the time, like we like raised that money to like rent out a space, and then we like charge people at the door to like come in, and it was that like a party type shit.
That's what you gotta do, bro. You gotta make do.
So, like, yeah.
Start some shit, and just like lastly, I mean, up there, you know, we're trying to wind down, but how you feel about New York rap right now?
I feel like
you think we on the rise?
I feel like New York rap is fine though, but I feel like a lot of people be dick riding now. Like a lot of people just be like, oh, like new age rap is hurt. Like rap has always been and always will be fine, bro. And like niggas be like, oh, like rap is like fucking ruined, bro. Like, rap is not what it used to be. Rap is bigger than it's ever been ever, bro. Like the fuck, like rappers is dead ass like everybody knows who like these niggas are. Like if you're a rap star, like you know how like fucking back in like I want to say like the 80s or whatever, like everybody knew who bands were like Kiss were. Everybody knew who's Michael Jackson was. You feel me? So it's like
starting to come that
a lot of rappers like are reaching that level of popularity to where like everybody knows who the biggest rappers are. You can't, regardless of whether you listen to their music or not, you see Kendrick Lamar's face, you're gonna know like, oh, like that's, you see Kendrick at the Grammys, like that's that nigga that be rapping, like he one of them. You feel me?
Like, I know Nielsen, the this data collecting service, they finally announced that hip hop is officially like the most like rap is the most sold genre of music in the world.
Exactly, and all different types of people listen to rap now. Rap is dead ass like it's its own culture. Like it's grown so much from like, and it's young as shit though. Like rap has only been around for not that long, like for a few years, bro.
Compared to like some of these other genres.
Compared to like fucking a lot of these genres like jazz and fucking shit like that. But then also aspects of rap have been around. Like rap is just a combination of many other different genres. So.
Nah, I feel you. I feel like, do you think being in New York makes you at a disadvantage? Because, I mean, for example, a lot of people compare New York, the New York vibe in New York, like how New York rappers operate, and they compare it with like Atlanta, right? And they say Atlanta's like a very family-based thing. It's like you be in the stew with mad different niggas. Like there's no type of like sectionalization, no type of isolation from people. Everybody just works with each other. Producers share beats all the time. They be in the, all of them kind of collaborate, and they try to just put on for the city together. And I know New York has a very like tangled history with, you know, beef and like niggas in radio, especially like, you know, with Ebro and now with the Breakfast Club and kind of like niggas from Harlem, niggas from Brooklyn. Like, do you think we need to take more of a mentality like that, like kind of just to come together and push it together? You know, we have Beast Coast going for a bit, but like,
I feel like the scene in New York is different because the vibe in New York is different. like New York is a gritty ass place.
Yeah.
Like compared to other places, New York is a gritty ass place. Like when people come to New York, like you ever hear like how New York, like tourists who come to New York will be like the people in New York are mean.
Yeah, they're mean.
Like they won't say hi to you in the street and shit like that. Like shit like that, bro. Like that's just how people are. Like it's a competitive vibe. It's a competitive nature in New York. You come here to New York to like make something of yourself. People come from all over the world to come to New York and kind of start something. They come to compete on like a social level. You feel me? So like just like the lifestyle here, the way you're living is like competitive as fuck. So like everything else would follow that same vibe.
Yeah. And do you think that affects you negatively, or like, or like does it like motivate you, like incentivize
like,
you?
I think like that's just a part of the process.
Yeah, that's true.
So like if that's what I have to deal with, then that's what I have to deal with, and it is what it is, and I'll just take it on the chin.
And I feel like
and then also like I think that's also cool because like if I feel like if I could take over New York, like if you could take over New York, you could take over
everything. Yeah,
you feel me?
Jay-Z says, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So like
make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Exactly. So it's just like yeah. So like I don't mind that competitive vibe, and it's cool, and at the same time, like I said, with everything, it's a time and place for everything. It's balance. It's all about balance, bro. So like, I could be in a competitive nature with niggas, but then at the same time, like, if I fuck with you, I fuck with you, and I'm gonna show love, and I'm gonna let you know that I fuck with you. You want to work, you want to do this, like, it is what it is. Like, as long as everything is genuine, bro, like, I don't like it's fine, bro. But like, I don't mind the competitive nature. I don't mind like working with niggas or anything like that. I wouldn't change anything about the New York scene. Like I'm not gonna sit here and complain and be like, "Oh, niggas should show more love."
Yeah.
Like it is what it is. Like although I feel like it's hard to build a fan base here. Like I feel like niggas like in terms of the fans, like they be waiting for a reason to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Like you gotta kind of like earn attention nowadays, and I guess it's because like shit is so it's like saturated with a bunch of niggas who are just doing it for like just because,
or whatever, yeah,
or just doing it for clout, or just doing it for shorties or some shit like that, or for like bread, and then like
takes away from the true.
It's a lot of niggas who are not putting out quality shit. So like, if you done clicked on a bunch, like if you done clicked on like 12 fucking trash SoundCloud links, why would you click on the 13th link?
Yeah, that's
you feel me?
Nah, that's facts.
So like I understand that, but like that's kind of annoying sometimes because it's like, but it is what it is. Like I know that naturally, I like in my head, like I tell myself all the time that I know that shit is just gonna work out. So like I'm not necessarily worried about how it works out or when it works out. I just know like, it is. So I'm gonna just keep on doing what I gotta do, and then when it happens, it happens. You know what I mean?
Big fact.
I'm not trying to force nothing.
Is there anything else, bro? You want to let these niggas know, like who's Jay Liv? What's next? What to look out for? Plug yourself, bro.
I'm gonna be dropping new music soon. On my SoundCloud, dropping videos and shit, YouTube, whatever. My Instagram, JLiv NYC. My SoundCloud, JLiv, all caps. You feel me? And yeah, I'm gonna be dropping some new shit soon. Free Cabo, Free Justo. Free Cass, yeah, and shout out to Crown Heights, shout out to Harlem, shout out to Brooklyn in general, shout out to the Stars, shout out Flatbush, shout out to all my niggas, shout out my niggas, the others, shout out my big bro Ty, shout out everybody you heard, yeah, shout out to all the fam, shout out to my nigga Bryce Barter,
yeah, Bryce Barter, the
shout
camera.
out GBU, shout out my nigga Chase, you feel me, over it, shout out to everybody.
Malcolm with the sound.
Over it.
All right, Brody. Good looking. Catch you, bro. Plug your shit.
Yo.